Association officials still claim that this was just a regular buffet and not a contest, but I'm not buying that shit. For whatever reason, they're trying to cover it up and in denial. But Justin, I have your back and I will never rest until you're publicly recognized as the 2015 champ. I love you, brother. I love you.
I like food, man. Also
joined by Chad Johansson, a 401k salesman with such sharp sales skills. He recently sold CalSavers, our state-run plan. Chad sold them on a standalone 401k plan. So congrats, Chad. That was awesome. And then there's Friedrich's best friend, and everyone's favorite Retireholics, fucking Rogue guy. So welcome to the show, man. Hey,
wait, hold on. How come they got different intros and I've had the same one since 2015?
It's not true.
You can't mess with perfection.
I haven't used that bit in a while. It's one of my favorites. You've probably already figured out, especially if you're Michael Webb, that we're doing some new technology here. So bear with us. Be patient. Hopefully it's working out. Brandon has gotten 4 hours of sleep the last 2 days, really getting this all set up. And we've got a lot of fun plans for future shows where we can surprise y'all with some cool stuff. So hang with us. If something goes wrong, it is what it is. And Michael Webb, just
fantastic.
Get it. There you go. Get it figured out. Let's see. Vaccines.
I hope he pops up in different places too.
Brandon and I are team Moderna. Mark is team Pfizer.
You're legitimately stealing questions from my lame.
Oh, sorry. Well, this will be good. And
right.
And Chad and Justin are team anti-vaxxer.
Team immune system.
when the battle of the mutants happens, Brandon and I will be on the same team. We'll be battling against Mark and whatever J&J mutants that are out there. Chad and Justin will be killed immediately because they will have no special superpower skills like we'll have. Out there in the audience, the chat bar, let me know what team you're on. Are you on team Moderna, team Pfizer, or are you on Chad and Justin's anti-vaxxer loser team? I can't wait to find out what superpowers I'm going to have as a mutant. I got mine just about a week ago. Justin, we've got
what team is Katie on?
I'm sorry, who's Katie? I'm just kidding. I'm on team Moderna, but I'm only one in, so I have no horn yet. So I haven't had my second one.
Katie, you just freaked Justin out so bad.
That was so bad.
It was so good.
So bad.
I wasn't got nervous too.
All right, Justin, who do we have? Who do we have at the center of the bar here? Who has joined us?
Not only is she great at making me shit my pants right before I'm about to do an intro here, but she actually made me work for it this week. I dove deep into the dark interwebs and couldn't find barely anything about her. But what I did find, I was super impressed with. And it wasn't the fact that she's a rock star client relationships manager at PensionPro. And we can't find a single person that doesn't have a good thing to say about her. Everybody fucking loves her. But it was the fact that just like me and Mark, she doesn't appear to have had any idea she was going to follow in this industry. She's a trained communication specialist, has a degree in journalism, has a experience in the fast-paced world of motorsports. Are we talking motocross, boat races? What do we got here?
Like sprint car, dirt track racing, some NASCAR stuff like that.
I want to connect the dots. Has an affinity for anything that goes fast.
I want to go fast.
Yes.
Is a lover of karaoke and cannot burp.
I love that made it
humanly possible.
That's just weird.
Maybe possible. That's part of, well, I would love to say it's because of the Moderna shot, but I've never been able to burp. So
that would be a weird after effect.
Right?
Side effect.
Yeah. Tony's got a good point. Do you fart more or what?
Oh, man.
It actually, oddly enough, it kind of just gets stuck in the middle and makes you feel like death. So nothing cool comes from it, but I can't burp. So JD, you're gonna have to up the burping on the show to
I got you
incorporate. Especially if you're gonna ice me at some point, I'll be a miserable wreck. So it'll be great.
I got the burping covered. I do at least 3 times the normal human being. Audience out there, you know what to do. Rate Justin's intro 0 to 10 in the chat bar. How did he do? He loves your feedback, so give it to him. And I knew Chad was going to have to let everyone know that he wasn't truly an anti-vaxxer. I am
JD,
not truly an
I'm gonna
anti-vaxxer.
run for
I just
political
cannot.
office someday. I have to make sure that these things don't slip out.
I just have not been able to schedule my appointment yet. I will find something eventually, I promise. Not part of the anti-vaxxers.
Your voice for me is so
Here's
good,
just
JD.
sit right here.
All right, let's dive right into it. We like to do little headlines, something that's happened recently, and acquisition of a census. I think that's a big headline. I think it's something to talk about. Any thoughts on this? Let me go to, I don't want to put Katie on the spot. I'm going to go to Chad first, because this could be a little dicey. If you're an advisor, you work with a census, or I should say you have clients that have a census as the record keeper. Are you happy when you hear this news? Are you indifferent? Are you upset? What say you, Chad Johansson, you sales beast?
Hold on, Mark. You're right. JD is missing certain parts of our show. Tap him on the shoulder. Make sure he knows.
Okay, sorry.
Acrosin, come
Okay,
on.
okay.
Leader.
All right. Sorry.
I know it's your birthday, but you're
Hey,
really
birthday
slacking here,
boy.
JD.
Yeah.
You do not have to be in gallery view because that's not a fucking thing anymore. We're gonna play chat bar champion, but there's a change in this new format right now. We can't really pull off the audience polls. I'm sorry, don't throw shit at your screen. So it'll
Pick
be
it up
up
with Zoom.
it'll be up to the 5 of us here to vote for the chat bar champion. And yeah, so you know what acrosin is, right? Katie?
JD,
Yes.
I can do the poll, but it'll just ruin my high def quality. So if we do it at the end of the show and we don't care about losing that, I can do it. We can do the
Okay,
polls.
there you go. I see. Brandon loves you guys. He's gonna do what he can do for you. Katie, acrosin, SYN, means if you use any acronym or any initialism, although you can say my name, you must drink from your penalty drink. And like usual, I'm sipping off the makers today. What are you drinking, Katie?
I have Redbreast Irish whiskey,
Woo!
courtesy of my boss getting me something nice to come in
Very nice.
and drink with
Is
y'all.
your-
Yeah, so
is
don't
your
make me use
boss-
it that many times.
Is your boss currently here? I didn't check.
I'm actually not sure. She's at the moment traveling, and she may have actually done that on purpose so she didn't have to attend and watch me be a mess just in case. So
Got it.
but I have a whole bunch of people from the company that are watching, which at this point, based off of our attendees, might be most of them.
We got a lot of people tune in. I'm glad you guys could
That's
all
true.
figure out your
Oh, yeah, we
Zoom
do.
update. Chad, I threw that question at you. You remember it, right?
I do remember it. And I like it that you pigeonholed me to how advisors should handle it, because I have some other.
Well, I just want to know
more-
what you think advisors thought of it when they heard it.
It's-
That's all.
I won't say that I don't think many advisors saw it coming. We've chatted for a while about access to data, and that I've thought all along a census had a different play in hand. I said creating some sort of managed account service or a suite of investments, or they were going to heavily start leveraging the data to sell ancillary services. I think if a private capital company is coming in, that's likely what they're seeing as value in that business.
Mm.
From an advisor perspective, though, it's tough to say. When Empower acquired Mass, you had an understanding that you were going to be moved to a certain chassis, and when that might be.
What did
That
he?
was cool.
It was really cool.
I didn't
Well,
know
yeah,
I said
but,
anything.
What did he
I
say?
was going with mass, but I guess it's an
That's
abbreviation.
a shortened
No,
word.
yeah.
You're good.
Check.
So Brandon, you have to
Um,
drink.
So here's what
like
I'll
that.
say, JD.
No.
Too early to know right now if there's going to be any change of platform or any change in the actual product, or it simply is an ownership change. But from a TPA or from an advisor perspective,
There you go.
there's
There you
one.
go.
There it is.
From an advisor perspective, I think that
Back of the
many
best.
were blindsided, didn't see it coming, and are kind of trying to figure out what their actionable step is. My thought is you just need to make sure your clients know what has happened, that at this point we don't know anything's changing, and be prepared to run an RFP if there is some significant change.
It's another one. It's another one.
I'm drinking
Webby?
jalapeno juice tonight too, because I'm going straight to softball game or baseball game.
Webby, I don't want to hear about your cool white background. You get that shit figured out. You get it figured out promptly. Let me make up something that has zero credibility and zero facts behind it.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear. I'm just
Clickbait.
riffing. I'm just
Clickbait.
riffing here. Yeah, clickbait. When a census / future plan started acquiring different third-party administrators across the country, my first question to them was like, oh, are you going to move it to you as the record keeper, a census? Like if it's at Hancock or Mass Mutual or Principal? And the answer was no, confidently, like, no, we're not going to do that. And I was like, weird. I thought that was your strategy, and I've learned, no, it wasn't their strategy. Does this change that at all? Will this new acquirer say, that was stupid, we're going to move this all to that? And again, I'm just making this up. I have zero information about this. Chad says no. Why do you say no, Chad? That could happen.
I'm zipping my lips because I'm sure somebody else wants to talk, because the margins on what they're doing on the record keeping side are 0 to nothing. Like they've got no play in the fixed income slot. The dollar amount that they're charging is it's so small and minuscule.
Why did they buy them in the first place?
Data access. I think it's data
Okay.
access still. So no, I don't think they're going to start migrating those over. If they do, then my vision of them offering some sort of investment related option to create some revenue from, then that becomes super true. Because why would you want to get them off Hancock and Mass and Empower and Principal and all those other ones? Is because you want them on your platform so you can throw proprietary funds in there.
Webby, you've got to vote for me for Chat Bar Champion. Honey, I shrunk the holics. That's funny. That's good. Mark, what about you? Any opinions about this acquisition? Any conspiracy theories? Any thoughts at all?
What I will say, again, just to combat Chad a little bit, is he said that there's a 0% chance that was the play to start migrating them over to the record keeping side. And I'm just going to say that you're wrong, Chad. That percentage can't be 0 or nothing, as you would like to say. There's a very good chance that is the play there. Why wouldn't there be? Why wouldn't there be some angle there? So I'm saying that I disagree with you. And my basis and my thoughts behind that are just because I don't want to fucking agree with you. That's why.
Well supported argument, Mark.
Tony, we'll get to the PensionPro acquisition. Cool your jets for now. We're talking a census. People come to me all the time as a third-party administrator and say, hey, JD, are you worried about a census future plan? Like they're plucking up all these third-party administrators across the country. Like, are you concerned that, you're going to become irrelevant? And I'm like, my answer to them is, I feel the opposite way. Like the more companies and my peers that they acquire and bring into the future plan umbrella, the more differentiated I feel. Is that a word? As a third-party administrator on my own. And I would think most of my peers would feel that way too. If you're a third-party administrator out there that's not acquired by a census, then you stand alone, you're unique, you're different. So I like it. I say, keep buying them, man. The more they buy, the better for us. So that's my 2 cents. Katie, before I spin the wheel of ice, which we're going to go straight to, because it's my birthday and I can decide how we do things in this little party. And for all you out there, I do want you to know that it was Chad's birthday yesterday, but that day has come and gone. It's all about
Show's
me
not on
today.
Wednesday.
Yeah, no. So I don't even, don't give him balloons. He doesn't get any balloons. No balloons for Chad.
Jeez,
It's over.
ruthless.
This is my birthday.
Crotchety.
Do you want to give a quick soundbite on the acquisition of PensionPro? Let the people know about it, Katie.
Yeah, sure. So if you're not aware, PensionPro was acquired by Mid-Atlantic as of the 1st of this month. Many of you know our fearless leader, Renee Connor, and Renee, I think, had kind of made that decision for a couple of reasons. Number one, hopefully at some point in her life, she gets to enjoy the thought of retirement, since she's worked in it for forever. PensionPro has certainly grown from the small company it was at the beginning. There are like 400 TPAs that use the product, tons and tons of plans that we manage. So being able, to see already once, but giving opportunities for growth, more integration, having a company that has a lot more resources than we do, and just sustainability. So I think the 2 big things were a succession plan and opportunities for growth. So we're all still around, had a new release this week and are looking towards the next things to continue making systems talk to each other, because that's what your technology should do for you. So
Sweet. I heard the back half of that. I was typing in the chat bar for the beginning, but it's all good. I'm just drinking whiskey.
Wow.
Straight whiskey.
Yep.
Tahoe JD equals birthday JD. Let's hope so, Tony. Brandon, let's spin the wheel. Oh, wait. You've got Smirnoff and you've got Makers, Katie. Am I right?
Oh,
Or
shit.
at least Smirnoff.
No,
You got Smirnoff.
I have the Smirnoff. and then
Okay,
I
that's
have-
fine. That's
yeah.
fine. That's fine. We'll take a little bit. You choose a Retireholic. and then
Anybody
we'll
but Mark.
Oh, that's not
Ooh,
good odds for you,
yes.
but
Hate on
okay.
Mark.
It's it like every
Yeah.
time. That's why
that's-
like Mark's not the guy.
I'm not that good at math, but I don't
Okay,
think
I'm
you
just
use
kidding. I'm
math
not
to your
picking
power.
everybody
No, that's
but
fine.
Mark.
I like
No,
that.
no. Okay, I take it back because this
Wait,
will be the
you're
one
so
time
you're
it's not
taking
Mark.
everyone, but fine. No. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I like it.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
All right, you will drink
I
if it
regret
lands
that
on anyone
decision.
but Mark. Okay, let's
I
spin the
regret that
wheel.
decision.
Let's spin the old and unimproved wheel of ice.
Your
Brandon,
magic, Brandon.
if we can. What a great voice.
Please be Mark. Please be Mark.
Oh,
But what if I said everyone but
feel-
Mark? Didn't I?
Bring me everyone.
I feel like you win. Katie. Please
please
no.
don't.
Please
No.
no.
First time.
Thank
Safe.
God.
Oh,
I
safe.
feel like
Okay.
if a guest ever does that
Katie?
again and
Yes?
it actually lands on Mark, that Mark should have to drink too, or whoever that person is.
I
Because
don't
she's
think
she's
that's
rolling the
fair.
dice.
Yeah, no, Katie, Brandon, go ahead.
What?
All includes her, right?
No, I'm claiming she made a bold call.
Mm.
I have a
Anything
question.
but
I have,
Mark.
I have technicality question, real quick.
Yes, yes.
I don't have Smirnoff Ice, so I have two options. One,
Oh my
can-
gosh, Mark.
I can pound a full beer or take a shot. Which one do I do?
Two
Oh.
shots.
Take a
Yes.
shot,
Oh,
two
I
shots.
Oh, I
Shot.
wanted to see the beer.
One.
Shot. Okay.
It's
I
not
guess,
open
yeah.
yet.
I don't
How
know.
dare you, Mark?
Hackler says 2 shots. I kind of agree with him.
I'm doing the big.
It's 2
Smirnoff.
shots. It's 2 shots for the beer because Daniel Moises says the same thing. So it's 2 shots for beer. Katie, while we pound these Smirnoffs, you get 30 seconds to let everyone know about PensionPro. I'm kind of kidding, but I'm not. Try it if you want to.
Yeah, so a lot of you guys use the system, so holler for that. We're going to start talking about security, data management processes, being able to hire people all over the country, and the system that I sell gives you the capabilities to do all of those things. So if you're growing and tired of old systems, I'm your girl. Give me a call.
Nice
Oh.
job. That was solid.
Like we planned that for it to
All right,
end
it's just
with your
worked
burp.
out. It
Excellent.
worked out perfectly. Cynthia, I like
Excellent.
it. Noise.
Noise.
All right, old TPA versus
Bing,
TPA
bing, bing, bing,
2.0.
bing, bing, bing.
Hang on, time out.
Oh,
Before you get
It's
there,
two.
Yes.
before
go
you
ahead.
get there. So we're talking about the census stuff, which is like been big news this week. But I also think, we've also been hearing about the Serato Group. And I think an interesting kind of transition from that is we're talking big giant national TPA. But then with the Serato Group, we're talking about
Keep it on the. You can owe it later. Keep going.
all right,
Keep
but
speaking.
talking about like this group that's kind of maintaining the local autonomy, but also giving themselves a national presence, kind of a different vibe, more of like an ABG thing that they've been doing for a while, but a group.
Yeah, Alliance Benefit Group. It's gonna be a rough night for Katie, everybody.
This sucks. Whose idea
Katie-
was this game?
And Katie, we can go ahead and pivot to Serato Group right now, but I just want
Well,
you
it
to know,
was
like,
a perfect transition.
yeah, but it's my show and it's my agenda.
You've
and
already changed your agenda live. You've already changed it up.
I have the Serato Group slatted for later in the
We'll talk
show
about it
here.
twice, but
No,
you
no,
missed a
let's do
great
it.
transition.
Let me scroll down to my Serato Group notes and let's go ahead with what you want to do, Katie, since it's your fucking birthday.
In your defense, sorry, the agenda is, you don't even have to scroll. It's right there. You can
Let me ask
easily
you-
pivot,
Oh
JD.
my
Let me ask you,
God.
Katie. Katie, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Can
Did
Katie
you know?
be the fifth Retireholic, please?
Did you know about the Serato Group? And for all you out there that don't know, it was, I believe, 9 third-party administrators kind of coming together under one umbrella. Not really like a real classic merger, just like from coming together as a force. I'll let Katie talk more about it. But Katie, did you know about the concept before the press releases? And if so or not, like what were your first thoughts when you heard about 9 third-party administrators coming together and something like, what were you thinking?
So I didn't know about it ahead of time, but as soon as I opened,
Whoa.
I mean, of course, there was a time. Well, hey, listen, can't be an insider on everything. Most things, yes.
You were
not
in
that.
journalism, so
That's true. I can do the investigative stuff if I need to, but I won't say it was surprising to me. Again, the concept of alliance benefit group, I've been aware of. But I was impressed by the group. I think it's a solid group of third-party administrators. Ugh, gosh,
Getting
that's
there.
awkward. It's a mouthful. So I mean, I think it's a good concept. There's certainly nothing wrong with providing the local services that I think your clients have come to expect, but to try to band together to get the same opportunities that groups like a census are getting, I think it's smart. It's not a bad play. And if you can get the attention of vendors and, work as a team, I don't see why not. I think it's a good play.
That's what I want to ask you next. Like, my first thought was like, is this really just a pricing play? Like, is this for them to bound together, go out to vendors and say, hey, look, man, we're 9 firms, we're this many $1 billion in assets, this many plans, and therefore, we're going to push you for lower pricing. And I would never put you on the spot because I'm happy that you're here. But Guy Hawker in the audience said, did PensionPro offer some type of discount to the Serato Group? And is this a motivation of theirs, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad question to ask. And I mean, the answer currently is no. The thing that's hard about our software is that you all still operate as local businesses. So I service you all separately. Like, yes, maybe you have the same systems management. We don't have all of the, the third-party administrators that are part of the Serato Group, but we do have a bulk of them. But the thing is they're also operating as individual entities. So it's not like I'm servicing a large group. I'm still servicing each group as their own. So that makes it kind of hard. It's been the same thing with Alliance Benefit Group. They're still single entities that are just coming together for a broader voice.
Yeah, JD, why does it always have to be something else with you? You always got to look at, oh, they're doing this for these reasons. Aren't they coming together as a nonprofit and taking some of their proceeds and donating them? Like,
JD, if you want to talk about saving money, I mean, let's look at a good option for your firm.
Yeah, geez, JD.
Mark, I was just going to ask you, as I strategically ignore Katie, I was just going to ask you like what your thoughts were, and you just nailed it with your comedy act. So let me ask you, like, as a guy who focuses on working with advisors and you work for a third-party administrator, I mean, did you have any initial thoughts of like, whoa, this is weird, this is different? Like, why are 9 firms coming together?
You are talking to me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're right here. I'm talking to you.
Yeah. So I can't talk like that. No, when I first saw it, I was definitely taken aback, kind of thinking. I think I went down the JD path as well, thinking like, well, why? Like, what is the
That's my
point of
question.
this? What, Chad?
That's his question.
That's my question. What's the benefit to either the consumer or to them? Which we can get to, but keep going, Mark.
Chad's been a little spicy tonight, I feel like.
I know. Somebody just said he looked like he was in a daze. Maybe he's just bored because he's not talking. We should keep it that way. And no, as I dug into it and saw what the concept was, and kind of a gathering of what I'll just refer to as intellectual capital, hopefully for the betterment of like what we're pushing for, right? For the good of our industry, for keeping the independence alive, for making sure that third-party administrators have a voice, and that we are not just going to get gobbled up and come in and be a part of this big conglomerate. We need to, so banding together can be a good thing, I guess is what I saw, instead of always.
But aren't we banding together with the American Society of Pension Professionals and Administrators? Or
nice.
Are we banding together with all these other associations that we belong to? Don't we get pricing discounts with many of the other groups that the third-party administrator community belongs to?
Okay, so what are you getting at, Chad? Spit it out, buddy.
I'm trying to figure out why, other than an opportunity to be in the news and to use it as a marketing ploy.
Wow.
Jeez, so that's not nice.
For once in my life, when I saw this come out, I honestly was kind of inspired and excited. I was like, this is cool. Like, this is different. Like, I didn't see this coming. I've never seen anything like it. And so I'm actually a fan of it. And I think it kind of slides towards what we talked about earlier. It's kind of like them creating their own little future plan moment. right? Where Future Plans, this company is trying to bring together all these third-party administrators and have this bigger brand, this national brand, this story of like, we have better tech, better resources, better whatever. And I like to see 9 third-party administrators trying to grab a little bit for their own. But Chad,
That
I love
story's
this
existed.
negative Chad. I'm a fan of the negative Chad.
That
He's
story
drinking
existed.
jalapeno juice.
Yeah.
Love
My
It's
thought,
actually
JD, that
pepperoni
story.
juice, but
No, this one is jalapeno today. I switched, Mark, because it's game day. I can't drink too much booze before I go coach a bunch of 5-year-olds. Okay.
I would
Um,
argue that you probably should.
Shouldn't.
Let's move on because Katie has derailed me from my entire agenda. Now we've talked about Serato Group for a while, but that's good. That's good thoughts. Let's go.
House is a fucking prison. I'm tired of bullshit.
That's what Chad's doing right now.
JD, let me make one last comment. Hold
Oh,
on.
please,
I can't
dude,
leave without
Chad.
There
my
we
comment.
go.
Make one last comment.
Has from the advisor community, has the future plan acquisition been beneficial for your clients or not? Because every advisor I've spoken to and folks who have been part of the acquisition process that are on the employee base are going, no, like we're subject to a larger company's rules, their procedures. It's not been beneficial. It's not been beneficial for the clients. The timing of the Serato Group coming out, if you're trying to correlate that to the purchase of future plans and what future plans did, I don't think that timing was good. I don't think the thought of future plans acquisitions was a positive one.
I would say that's very different future plans from Serato Group. It's a small network.
Oh, I agree.
Really,
JD was correlating the two. I agree.
I was
Justin,
correlating
Okay.
it from like a branding marketing.
Can we
Obviously,
stop saying correlating, please.
with all respect to Serato Group, they're still running their own shops, right? They're
Right.
doing their own operations. The problems that Future Plan is running into are not going to happen at Serato Group. These are professionals that are running their own
Right.
shops. So I was more just inspired by the branding and the kind of the story of us coming together. But
Fair.
just to be clear, let's talk a little bit about TPA. Check.
Oh, what was that?
No, you got all 3 of them.
Yeah, you said 2 of the 3.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Third-party administrators, and I've got some perspective on this, but I think Katie's got even better perspective. I see third-party administrators as there's a lot of old school ones. Many of you know my father started our company in 1975. I'd call my old man an old school third-party administrator. And then there's this kind of new world. Katie, when you're out there, because your job is basically to help third-party administrators look to implement, futuristic software, modern day software. Do you see a distinction between these two? And can you comment on that a little bit? Is there a lot of these old school ones out there versus new school?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, in the last probably 2 years, it's not becoming such a what is a system like PensionPro do, or why do we need systems management? A lot of folks came though, and still to this day, we get them that call that say, hey, we do everything on Excel spreadsheets in our office. But I think if you had to find a positive from the coronavirus pandemic and people being home, I think it's become very clear the absolute need for technology when you can't be in your brick and mortar office. So, I mean, I tell people all the time, if you're looking at making a systems change, it's a lot easier to do it when it's leisurely, right? Like, hey, we want to improve. And JD, you and I were talking about that before the show. Like, you knew that in order to move the business forward, making improvements was necessary. And that's both technology based, looking at the future. And it's a lot easier to make that call when it's optional, not, oh my gosh, our in-house system just blew up, or holy smokes, we just lost our administrator of 72 years who decided she's going to retire and take care of grandkids and all of her stuff's in her head. Like, that's not a good business practice, but it's not uncommon, and it's not fun to sell software based off of somebody being in a predicament because they already needed it yesterday. But we still sell it that way sometimes. But I much prefer the people who are just looking to advance their business and make the call because they know they need systems. And in the last 2 years, I'd say I won't even just use PensionPro, but systems in general have become an absolute necessity and are no longer considered a luxury item for this industry.
Well, one of the reasons I want to talk about this is there's been this consistent narrative from the last few episodes where I've been trying to tell advisors that, hey, not all third-party administrators are the same. And I think that's also true of like bundled administrators. Like not all bundled administrators are the same. And so whether you're bundled or unbundled, both those entities are doing the same job. And I think it's important for advisors to get into the weeds, vet out those different providers and how they're doing things, because you're trying to find the right solutions for your clients. And so I just thought it would be really interesting to hear from someone like you that, hey, not all third-party administrators are the same. And that's true of lots of different firms. Let's pivot it to marketing a little bit, and I'll go to Chad. Do you think the story of a third-party administrator, the sales story 10 years ago is the same as it is today? And then as you answer yes or no, then the second question is, should it be? Like, have things changed?
So my answer will be, it depends on who we're talking to. If it's to the advisor community, yes, I think the story is very different now than what it was 10 years ago. If we're talking to a client, I think the story now is very similar to what it was 10 years ago, which is, to a client, we're talking about plan design, we're talking about efficiencies, we're talking about tax benefits, we're talking about operations. To an advisor community, we're talking about creating an extension of your sales team, to have an expert in the room with you, to help you win business. That has changed. That has changed a little bit over the last decade, I would say, because we're able to embrace technology in a different way than you and I were 10 years ago.
I like that answer, Chad. I think the client wants the same things, but maybe the advisor has changed a little bit. I'll give you a typical one, and I'm going to go to Katie because she's got some insights from some research or some interviews that you guys have been doing with advisors. I think if you looked at a third-party administrator's marketing brochure 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, in the top 3 would be local. And I think a lot of third-party, I've heard actually the industry refer to third-party administrators as local TPAs. And I'm going to take that on purpose, that drink, because that's like a term, and that's how they describe us. Is that changing post-COVID? And I'm kind of leaning towards like that. You interviewed some advisors, and I think you talked to a chick in Florida who we work with. It was like, whoa, why is she working with those guys? They're in Cali, but.
I love that you're self-servicing me to say great things about you. Love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
Hey, we got to do a little bit of marketing on this show,
It's my
Katie.
birthday. It's my birthday.
All right, fine. I'll throw you a bone there. Yeah, we did. So we've been doing some research because, of course, we advocate for the community of third-party administrators and the retirement community in general. And we wanted to kind of put some dots together, I think, and make some connections as to why the third-party administrator is such a critical role to the advisor. So the Batman and Robin of relationships. And so we interviewed a few, not just advisors, but wholesalers too. Like, why do you work with third-party administrators? And in the case of the person that we talked to, and I think Kate said she couldn't make it, but shout out, hey, Kate. Hopefully I'm giving JD enough crap to make you happy. But she made a couple of comments. And one of the things I thought was so unique is we always talk about providing a local service offering, right, in your neighborhood next door. And Kate's not. I mean, her business is really based out of the Florida area. And then, of course, JD and his team are in California. So having, being in this virtual world where we have access to systems management, you don't have to be in someone's backyard. If you mesh for your business models, you don't need to be local to be local. Like, you don't have to be local to provide an excellent service offering. And I think that's becoming more clear. So, the advisor community now has an opportunity to find third-party administrators all over the country that fit your mold. Like, again, not all of these folks are the same. Not everyone's going to provide the level of service that you want. So you need to find the people that you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter where they are in this country. If they have systems that can handle it, you don't have to be next door.
And I've asked for years, Katie, as we started to move more national versus just local, what's the benefit of working local? And almost every single person I asked would say 2 things. They would say, well, I could have you physically in a meeting, which we all know now is not necessary. The second answer was accountability. Like, if you're working with a local business, then you know that that's a business that's accountable to the community. Well, that you can get nationally if you're working with the right business. the right third-party administrator. That level of accountability, I think, is what differentiates between bundled and unbundled.
Right.
And so that whole local pitch needs to be an accountability pitch. So
Well,
for the
and
TP
go ahead.
Nope,
you
that
almost
was a
did
good
it
check
too.
swing.
You almost did
interrupted
it.
me.
Nice work.
You interrupted
Nice
me right on
work.
the check swing.
No, but Guy, I just saw Guy make a comment in the chat, and this is funny. This is something people don't think about a lot of times, and you guys being West Coast, but you know, having people across the nation really opens up your office hours without having to extend the hours that people work. So it's always been great for us if we hire somebody West Coast. You know, I mean, our presence is all East Coast. So the more folks that we have West Coast, we now have later hours into the day. Your service offerings are opened up, and you know, it's having the ability to open up your pool, not just of potential people that you work with as referral sources, but also clients and employees to be nationwide is huge, especially for those of you who are trying to hire at the moment.
Does anyone ever, like any plan sponsor or advisor, be like, oh, I want a local record keeper. I'd really like them here locally. Like you never ask those questions. And so I think it's kind of funny. The job that you do as a compliance administrator or a third-party administrator, it's really not necessary for you to be there local. And I love that COVID has kind of pushed us into that space. Hello, everyone out there. What's your favorite game? What's your favorite Retireholics game that we play with your favorite Retireholic? I want to see it in the chat bar. Type it in. I want you. No, not Wheel of Ice, Hackler. That's not what I'm talking about. Not
I
movie
agree.
trivia.
I agree,
Yes,
Hackler.
Tony. It's
Oh
lame
yes, Webby's
or
on it.
insane.
Movie trivia.
Mark, let's play. Yes.
Fuck, Mark.
I'm not gonna lie. This is not a game that we play every week. And when JD texts me on at 8 o'clock the night before an episode, I don't spend too much time trying to come up with questions. So you all watching the show may think I'm not giving it my all, but just know I don't have a library full of questions. So if you have some, please send them my way. Anyways, Katie, are you familiar with this game? I know you are.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to start with one. We kind of just talked about it earlier, and this may offend people in this chat bar. I don't know, but is it lame or are you game telling people which vaccination you got? Katie, I'll start
game.
with you.
I'm game.
Okay. JD, birthday
Sorry,
boy.
you said Katie. I'll start with you. I thought you said JD. I'm like, whoa, he's starting with me instead of the guest.
No.
I am one of the few people though that did not post my photo with my little Vax card. I did not do
Praise the
that.
Lord.
Question.
Thank you,
That's
Katie.
my next question.
Don't
Don't steal my question.
Honestly,
My
I want to answer honestly. I think it's lame. It's lame.
Chad.
You started it.
I know,
Yeah,
but
he does.
that was just a bit. That was just a bit.
It's lame.
I'm not even going to ask the anti-vaxxer. Fuck that guy.
I'm gonna
Jesus
start telling
Christ, I'm
people
not an
what chickenpox
anti-vaxxer.
vaccine my kid got.
Yeah, you are, Justin. Yeah, you are.
Holy
You're gonna
shit.
die, bro. You'll have no
People are
mutant
gonna
powers.
have-
You're going
I-
down.
Honestly,
Jesus.
my follow-up to that was going to be posting your vaccination card or saying you went and got it or whatever. And I'm assuming based on this panel,
That's
the
awesome.
resounding lame, just right?
Yeah. And let's not let Katie take over your game again like she does the whole show.
You
At this
invited
point-
me. You
Oh,
knew
Mark,
what was
do I
coming.
So do I
JD,
actually
at
get to
this
say?
point, I think it's probably better that way. All right, my next question is going to be thrown to JD. Because JD sent me something earlier today. And by the way, JD, remember, my game has changed. I can now include everyone else to ask questions. So now I'm putting the ball in your court. You sent me a text earlier today about something that people do on LinkedIn. So get it off your chest, buddy. This is like therapy. Go for it.
Okay, fair enough. Lame or game when it's your birthday and you wake up hungover as usual, lying in your bed, your 3 chihuahuas, your wife's next to you, and you're getting a ton of LinkedIn happy birthday wishes, but you know, they didn't actually write those. Those are automated fucking happy birthday, HBD, lowercase j, uppercase D, like shit coming in. Lame or game, Justin?
Lame. Did you want more for
gotta
that
keep
or?
asking people.
or geez?
Not a good host. I forgot. Justin, expand on your answer now.
Well, there's
No.
no.
Chad, lamer game.
I'm lame for the automated.
Yep.
I hate the obligation of responding back to everybody, which I've yet to do.
Katie,
That doesn't feel great either.
lamer game on an automated LinkedIn. Happy birthday.
Completely lame. And you don't remember this, but a year ago on your birthday, I straight up sent you an email on your birthday. I'm pretty sure I sang to you and said something obnoxious about PensionPro being your birthday wish. Fairly certain
Are
if
you
you go back and
serious?
look in the archive. Oh yeah. Oh wait, you didn't open it?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Love
I
that.
Oh, hey,
don't-
Katie, I
think you
responded
love
to
that.
your email last
You
week
did.
and you didn't respond to me.
No,
So
hey, time out. You made me wait for 4 days, so I thought I would wait till I got
Ooh.
here
there was
and then
there was
respond
a
to it.
need for that. Hey,
I'm not
JD,
gonna-
you said the abbreviation of happy birthday.
Oh, okay. All right. Got it. I'll get that one here in a
Good
second.
catch, Chad.
I'm gonna skip
Thanks.
Mark because who cares what he thinks? It's his game. But I do want to say, you know what sucks about it is that in those like tons of them that are there that you have to scroll through, there are like some that are
Some
real
actual
people that,
authentic
that
ones.
say like, happy birthday, bro. And so now tomorrow I got to wake up hungover and like go through and like find the ones that are automated and find the ones that are real. And it's kind of stressful.
What are you gonna say to the automated ones? Will you respond to them
No.
like
Oh, Chad.
thanks, no
Chad.
thanks?
Chad, bro. No, there's
Come on, can we
never
just-
mind. Go on.
Can we just call
Mark.
out Hackler for being one of those people that did that today? Can we just call him out?
All right, G, nice. Thank you, Amanda.
Did he really
I
do
love
it?
you.
Oh yeah. Katie, I have one question, and this is not a lamer game question. Like I said, it's my game. I do whatever I want. Can plan design consultants, aka the Retireholics, win PensionPro of the month, even though we don't use PensionPro?
That would be cool.
Absolutely not. No. It's a pretty elite group. So
All right. Well, you know what they say.
You know what they say.
You know what they say.
You know what the bummer? One of my favorite segments I'd love to do more is drunk Mark. And I've run out. I don't have any more, so I can never bring
There's
them up.
no. There's a couple you haven't used
You
that
think?
I've
Okay.
been waiting for them.
I gotta dig further.
Yeah.
Your question to Katie remind me of Amanda's chat bar question. Katie, Amanda wanted to know who your favorite third-party administrator is out there.
that is unfair. And now we should talk about why you don't like that term. And let's move on to another piece. I can't play that game.
Fantastic.
She knows how much love I have.
All right, Katie, since you're in charge of the show, you want to go to the debate on the name third-party administrator, or you want to talk cybersecurity? You tell me.
It depends. Do you want to practice falling down and bleeding, or do you want to talk about something else?
I'm into falling down and bleeding. That's kind
Yeah.
of my jam.
Let's do it. Let's talk naming conventions.
Okay. All right. So you've heard a bit about this before in the past, and I'm not going to go
Naming
into
conventions.
detail. But
Katie.
third-party administrator, we've kicked this around since TPA Growth Summit of pre-COVID. Like, we need to change the name. Now it's getting a little seriouser. We're trying to, damn it. Yeah. All right. Oh, and
Seriouser.
let me continue my thought. Seriouser. That's a real word. Here's my thing. Third-party administrator sounds like an add-on. It sounds like a premium service. It sounds like a luxury. It sounds like something that you don't really have to have.
Unnecessary.
Yes, unnecessary. Thank
Hang on, you
Mark.
went okay. All right.
I don't
Go
know.
ahead.
Oh, you weren't expecting that, Katie, huh?
Yeah.
No,
let me
no.
set
Well,
up
you
the
said-
debate.
Go ahead.
Well,
Let me set up the
curveball.
debate, Miss Bloody Knees or whatever you said I was going to have. And so I would like us to have a conversation about one. I don't think it matters what we call ourselves to the plan sponsor. And I get all you out there, by the way, that are like, who cares what you call yourself? And there's some logic to that. So I feel you. But it doesn't matter what the plan sponsor thinks. And it really doesn't matter what, the world in general thinks. But I feel like it matters what the advisor thinks. And a lot of advisors that are out there that don't understand the value of a third-party administrator see us as all those adjectives I use to describe us. So I feel as though we need a name that doesn't back up those thoughts. We need a name that's like, hey, and then here's my last thought, and I'll let Katie take the floor. I also don't think this name should be just relegated to renaming the local third-party administrator. I think this should be the name to name the bundled administrator. I talked about this last week. You've got to get compliance work done. It's going to be someone who's going to do it. Who cares whether it's bundled or unbundled? Someone's doing the work. They should have the same name. And I think that name should be something that's level, equity, simple, easy. And I have issue with a name that you like that should be included, which is consultant, Katie. So give me your pitch.
It's in your company name, bro.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah, that was coming.
Go ahead, Chad. Answer it, Chad.
the difference is we're trying to describe the service that's being performed. Not every third party is a consultant. Not every administrator is a consultant. Some are just going through the flows, right? They're just getting data and submitting results. So you can't classify this service feature as being consultants when not everybody is. I feel like that's a disservice to those that are.
Interesting. But Katie, like, what do you think would be a proper term and why?
All right. So first thing is that like in our systems, our clients get to choose what they call their roles, right? So everybody gets to choose. So administrator and consultant are interchangeably used by third-party administrators all across the country. It's just a preference of naming convention. But I also think, JD, the point that you just made is it's a level playing field. So let me ask you this. Do you pay the person who just came out of college that decides I can make some money in this business as an administrator the same as you do the person who's a senior level administrator? Or if it's a level playing field?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it ties into my bigger mission here. This isn't to me about like what you're going to call me or what I'm going to put on my business card or what seems appropriate. To me, this is about confronting the bigger problem, which is that advisors see us as a luxury. And that's why we're getting less business. And don't get me wrong, being a third-party administrator is a great gig, and there's plenty of successful ones. And life is good, it's working. I'm just talking about the future and getting advisors to understand us more. And so it's not about what it sounds like. Yes, Chad, go ahead.
I was just going to say to that point though, JD, because you and I have talked about this. It's not just about what it sounds like and the luxury side of it. It is also about levelizing the playing field for the
100%.
work that is being done. The work that is being done should be the same, whether bundled, unbundled,
Totally.
national third-party administrator, local third-party administrator. The truth is it's not. And so that's
You're
where,
right.
Katie, would you ever call a
Keep going, Mark.
bundled fidelity plan a consultant? Would you ever say that they're being a administrative consultant? No, but the third party group is looped into that same group.
This is a great point. I want to interject because even Tony says getting less business, and a lot of third-party administrators I've talked to get upset with me when I do this because I am lowering us, right? They want to say like, we need to be a consultant. We need to be an expert. We need to be a professional. And I'm like, no, you're missing the bigger picture. If we could just get on a lower level playing field, like Chad's talking about, and then our services are compared to bundled services in the same fair way, then you'll win business because you're fucking better. So stop trying to position yourself in the market as this luxury thing, and instead bring yourself down, call yourself the lowly administrator, make sure the record keepers are called the same thing, and then go win business on why you do it better. And I think that will provide better outcomes than what we've been experiencing for the last 15 years. That's my 2 cents.
I don't necessarily, I don't know. I mean, I do disagree, but not completely. But I think the name needs retirement plan in it somewhere. I think compliance consultant still, if you went out on the road, it's like, what the hell does that mean? I mean, whether you like the word consultant or not, like I said, I do want to point out that it's a New York company name, which is funny that you hate that word. But anyway, I do think a naming convention change makes sense. But the other thing I don't like a bundled provider is always going to be a lesser cost than you, but you guys are service providers. Like you're not, like PensionPro is not cheap. I imagine you're not cheap, and you probably even know a local TPA.
Well, you got
it.
Yep.
Got it.
No, Jack.
Yeah,
No,
but I mean,
RDA.
TP still means something. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Almost a burp. Almost a burp.
If someone
That's my vote.
if someone said that you're that's excellent. If someone told you like, hey, you're too expensive, are you going to be like, well, you know what, we actually have a lower option for you that we can hit? No, you're going to tell them, well, if you're shopping on price, I'm not your guy. So one thing that I don't like is if you just keep talking about it being separate from a bundled provider, you're still like downplaying your service. You already know. And Chad, one of the last shows, I can't remember, but you were talking about a scenario that the plan was like completely not tested properly because dates were wrong.
Data hire.
Like
Yeah.
you already
Or
know,
date of birth.
like,
Sorry, that one.
bro, somebody should be looking at this. Like, we are going to do that for you. So I don't like it. I get the idea from an advisor perspective of being a luxury, but if they if they know you, and again, you're able to prove your value, then I don't think the naming convention really means all that much. But like TPA, I just don't like
The
it.
problem is
that's one. That's not a check swing. That's a legit.
No, I
case.
did that one.
She did it on herself. Go ahead.
my
Chad.
problem, Katie, still is there's this visual in the community. And I know you're dealing with many third-party administrators. We're dealing with tons of advisors, as are you. And there's this distinctive thought that the third-party administrator community is doing the same thing as the bundled community. And that's not the case.
Right.
And so what we're trying to do is get more granular and say, we need a description that is not unbundled versus bundled. It is the work that is physically being done.
And
It's
make it
compliance
boring.
Administration.
Make it
It's
boring.
Whatever it is, make it boring.
Make it
we don't have to
non-sexy.
call ourselves that. We're trying to title the work, and we're trying to let the title of the work take over the weight
you,
of the
Chad.
name of the role.
And then you go sell your own services. If you want to be luxury and expensive and high, then fine. But let's get to some equity here. I'm tired of advisors saying, oh, I only do bundled or I only do unbundled. Like what? That's a stupid statement to make. Vet out the people that are doing the work. And I know I said this last week, but so I love what you just said, Chad. You know, I love you, but my love for you just went from a 12 to like a 16. And that's on a scale of 0 to 10.
Take that, robe guy. Yeah.
I would much rather prefer to keep that beard as far away from me as possible.
Can I tell you guys something I learned?
You learned something?
Yeah, today.
I doubt that.
When I was in school and back in my time, because I'm an old man now, today is my birthday. We would learn.
Dude, I'm surprised. Only one person in the chat bar mentioned catch-up contributions. And I just want to say, JD, congratulations on the additional $6,500 that you're not going to put away because you probably don't even put in money into your own 401k account right now.
I do. I just right now it's all sucked up by paying off my loan so I can cover your fucking salary, Mark. All right.
I only get
what I was
paid
saying
like
is
$4 an hour. So
what I was saying is that my teachers in high school wanted me to learn how to type. And they wanted me to go ASD, JF, semicolon, whatever the fuck that is. and that you can't look down, right? But I got to be really fast looking down. Like I can type great when I'm looking down. And I was like, who cares if you don't look at the keyboard? Like looking at the keyboard is fine. You can type fast. And now I've realized, you know where it lets you down? When you want to be on chat bar and you want to like look at the show and see what's going on. And I want to write someone. And then I screw it up and I got to delete, backspace. And anyway, those are my two thoughts on that.
Wow. Wait,
is anyone going to acknowledge Katie's glasses?
Productivity going on the show.
Oh, I did in the chat bar. Katie's
you did. I didn't see that.
Nice.
Katie, are those real?
Let's go.
No,
It's like
it looks like a filter.
Katie, you should.
Oh no, yeah, I mean they're real glasses right now.
I thought, dang it, we should have recorded it and given that. Yes, I should mention that. I will mention that in the
All right,
very
well,
brief after show. We got to get to CB.
No,
we got to get to our champion. Go ahead, Mark.
No, but before we go, I think it's only right. Katie, I hope you're ready. Justin, I know you are. We got to sing JD and Chad happy birthday. It's only right. So on the count of
JD,
three,
are we allowed to include Chad, or is
Just for
him being a 16? I mean, we should, right?
It's not.
I'm a human
Chad's
being too.
birthday. It's not your birthday, Chad.
One,
Don't worry, he was looking down.
3.
Happy birthday
to
you. Jesus.
Happy
This-
birthday to
you.
Happy
birthday, dear Chad and JD.
Yesterday.
Happy birthday to you. God, that was terrible.
God,
bad.
did she burp?
Oh.
She's right next to you. You could hear her.
She burped.
Oh, wow.
She
Weird.
burped.
Thank
I
you.
officially think if I have any pull in this organization that we call Retireholics, Katie's getting a promotion and an offer letter in the mail to join the Retireholics tomorrow.
Hey, I already wrote in the chat bar, everybody should be trying to recruit Katie.
Yeah, no,
And I
it's
agree
gonna
with that.
happen. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, let's go chat our
Hey.
champion. Yes, sorry, Chad.
I
Another
was
thought
just gonna ask, did you-
to wind the clock down.
your-
So I just have
Your
2 seconds
presence
left.
didn't
You're
come
gonna be
in.
so late
Like,
to your son's game.
I wanted you to open your presents on the show.
Well,
Yeah.
we
But
can
it sounds like
do
we
There's
it.
didn't
two of
come
them,
in.
right?
Let's do the presents
You
and
said
the
wind the clock down. Are you referring to the NFL draft, JD?
let's do it in the
Talk about it,
3-minute after show, Chad. We'll do it in the 3-minute after show.
Did I only have like 4 Ackerson mistakes? What was my number?
Brandon,
That was pretty good.
Mm,
Yeah,
Banging.
not
Hey,
bad.
Justin.
you were
I'm really
scared
proud of
beginning.
that.
Justin,
proud of
super
that.
long distance high five.
We got to figure out this mirror thing because
Yeah.
this is
I
weird.
think Tony asked me before if I could touch Justin's head. And I'm like, nope, not
Shoulder.
gonna happen. Okay, Chap our champion, your vote, Justin.
New Chad.
Chad's not far off 35, Alfonso. He's somewhere in that vicinity. New chat, that's mine. Okay, so that takes away my fucking vote. I've said it in the chat bar. I said I was voting for new Chad, and you did. You
You
saw
did it
Hey,
to me last week,
Chad.
dude, so
New
I'm just
Chad.
returning the favor.
old Chad. What's your vote?
Are we allowed to vote New Chad? Because New Chad was
Yeah.
my vote as well.
All right,
It
that's
happened
fine.
last week.
I
That's
had
fine.
Webby and I had Tony. Tony had a good night tonight.
Tony was
but I
good.
think New
Mark,
Chad
by the
did.
way, Brandon can do the poll, so you guys can throw someone else in there, but you don't have to. If you love new Chad, then vote new Chad. Mark.
Greg Greenfield.
Yeah, he was good. He
Mm,
was good.
Greg
he was
had a
good.
good
He was
night.
good. He
Wait,
was
who
good.
He
had
gave me
the
the sweats
comment of
about
honey,
Rodgers,
we
I'm not
shrunk
doing it.
the retire
Webby.
Webby,
Webby.
Webby.
Webby
That was
that one.
excellent.
Okay, Webby, Greenfield, and a new Chad. Brandon, you're gonna go for this audience poll thing, right? And if it fucks up the screen, fine, so be
Mm.
it.
So be it.
Is Brandon still there? Has he just been chugging Maker's Mark and he's gone? Here we go. It's working. It's working. It's working.
I don't know
Oh,
how he does that.
can
stuff
see it.
so
I
God,
can
now we
see
can't
it.
vote this week.
I can't click though.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're a
yeah, we
panelist.
can't.
Okay,
Katie.
sorry.
Now-
Welcome.
Now that I read, it
It's
says I can't.
close.
I get
It's
it.
close. It's very, very close.
I might laugh if New Chad
Come on,
doesn't win the
people.
game.
Vote, vote, vote. We're only at. Yeah, there you go. Keep voting. New Chad. New Chad. New Chad wins.
Congrats, New
the,
Chad. You deserved
Chad
it.
Champion.
It's been
Congratulations.
about 6 weeks of New Chad putting in heavy efforts and having great shows.
Yep.
You deserve that. W.
Congratulations, New Chad. Stand by your mailbox because sometime in the year 2023, we'll send you some free swag from Retireholics. Congratulations, buddy. You deserve it. And we've got a song to close out the show tonight. Mark, you want to just set it up? You set up the song.
Well,
Mark.
first off, you asked me, JD. Hey, Mark, can you send me a super poppy song? It's my daughter's favorite song.
Do you want to set it up?
Uh-oh.
I just did.
Your daughter's favorite song. Okay.
Yeah.
How old's your daughter?
7.
What's her name?
Everybody knows. It's Maya.
How many Girl Scout cookies did she sell this
Like
year?
400 and something.
All right, play it.
Thank
Anyone
you to
else feel
everybody who
like
bought them.
someone's going to come crawling out of the TV?
Yes.
If all of the